Hey, you. I wanted to show you how to calendar those new activities and new routines that you are going to try to do. And so I'm going to do this video showing you how you would do that. So, the very first thing that you put on your calendar is your free time. And I talked to two of my students this week, one who has, is in sports. And so he has sports practice because I thought that might be good for students who are involved in activities to see that. And then I also asked a student who isn't in sports but has a job. And I know there's all sorts of scenarios. Maybe you are in sports and have a job, or maybe you have neither of those things. But I think seeing how this would go will you'll be able to figure it out for your own self, depending on what your activities are. So when I think about, I'm going to do the student that has the sports practices first. And we didn't even do games because at the time that I'm recording this, he's just starting a new sport on Monday with practice, and there isn't any games yet. But you can imagine that if you had a sports schedule of games, you could just go through the calendar. And especially in high school, a lot of times games are on Friday night. So, you could just say, I have a game on these different Friday nights, and you could just put them all in there. Um, so, just whatever works for you. But we're going to just be doing sports practices on this example. So, his free time, well, I guess I should say he is in a hybrid school model, which means that he is at home learning remotely on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday, Friday, he's actually in school. So we talked about, what does his day look like when he's not in school? What does his day look like when he is in school? And he wrote down everything that he could think of. And so since we schedule free time first, that's what I'm going to do. So on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, he said that at noon, he stops for lunch, but he usually spends about, I'm going to make this noon. And I am using Google Calendar, so you can use any calendar system you want to. And you can even just do this on paper. But this is how I would calendar it and how I do calendar my days. And so this is what I want to show you. Um, so he said at noon he has lunch, but then part of lunch is also taking a break from his schoolwork and playing video games or watching YouTube. So I'm just going to put lunch free time because you can, whatever you decide to use that 2 hours time for, it's mostly free time besides the lunch part. And I'm just going to put this on, I'm going to say custom because we want to pick Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because remember Thursday and Friday he's at school. And so his school schedule will be a little bit different. And I'm just going to say that this ends at the end of this week just because I'm going to schedule the other student on the next week. And so I don't want these to carry over. I think I can make that happen. We'll see. So there's the free time Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from lunch until 2. He also, when he gets home from practice at 5:30, he goes for a run for 30 minutes. So I need to make this 6. And exercising and those kinds of things are part of your free time. And we're going to say that repeats every weekday because he would do that even if he was in school. And then, he said from 6 to 6:20, he lifts weights. And you just have to customize some of these times. They usually are in 15 minutes. And since that's 20 minutes, you just make it the time that you want it to be. And that's going to be Monday through Friday. Now, obviously, if you do that every single day, you would just say daily. And that would take care of that. But notice it's pretty easy because it'll just put it right on there. Oh, and I didn't say what it was, but you can go back. This pencil is how you edit. And I just call this weights. And I'm saying all events because it's asking, do I want to say that for all the ones that I have on there? And I do. Then he told me from 6:30 to 7:30 he has supper, and then at 7:30 to 10 is any homework that he needs to work on. And then he also has free time during that time. So even though this is a homework time, it's also free time. So I'm just going to put them on there. And we're going to say that's every weekday. Now, obviously, I went ahead and put that on there, but if he has a Friday night game, then this would change. And you can always, like if you want to delete this time frame and you don't want to mess with the rest of them, when you go to delete, if you say this event, meaning that certain day, and you say okay, then it'll just take that one off, which is great. And then you could put your game there if you were wanting or you needed to put your game there. But I'm going to go ahead and put the free time back in there. And I just need to see if I can do that easily. See if it goes. Nope, it didn't go back in there. Maybe if I say duplicate and I pick the day. Yeah, it added it back on. Okay. And then he said at 10 o'clock, he doesn't just go right to sleep, but for an hour, he kind of gets quiet and then he's asleep by 11. So I'm just going to say bedtime routine because whatever that is, I actually have a bedtime routine and we talked about that in a couple episodes ago, but I guess I didn't say what my bedtime routine was. I don't remember, but in that bedtime routine, this, brushing your teeth, taking a shower. Now, this student takes a shower at a different time, so I'm going to put that in there later. But whatever you happen to be doing for your bedtime routine could be part of this hour, and you don't have to specify every single thing. Now, you might need to at first if you are starting your routines and you're trying to, establish them and do them. But like for my schedule, I wouldn't put anything other than this on my schedule because I would know what my bedtime routine is because I would do the same thing every time. And like mine is brushing my teeth, flossing my teeth, taking a shower, putting on moisturizer on my face, brushing through my hair because I sleep with it wet, but I don't want it to be all tangled up. So I brush it. And then I play Facebook games during that time until I go to sleep, but my bedtime's a lot earlier than that. So, anyway, okay. And so this pretty much is his free time. We didn't talk a lot about the weekends, but your free time, obviously, and your weekends is going to look different. You're probably going to have more free time, but make sure you do schedule your weekends too, because the weekends are probably where a lot of time gets wasted. I feel like before I started calendaring, I wasted a lot of time. If I had a free weekend where I didn't have anything to do, I actually got less things done than if I told myself I was going to do different things and I scheduled them. I am so much more efficient with my time now. And you will too. And you need to do this, especially now that school isn't every day for a lot of people. And you have to figure out when you're going to do your remote work or your homework before you go back to school. So please make sure that you're calendaring your weekends. But remember, free time comes first. And you get to create this calendar. Other than when you have to do something like go to school or whatever, or go to work, everything else is up to you. So if you make your calendar so crazy you can't live with it, that's on you. So you need to figure out how do you make this enjoyable. And that's why we put free time on it first, because that's the fun stuff. That's the things that we want to do. And since I was talking to two boys, they didn't have manicures and pedicures and hair appointments and all that. But, that goes in your free time too, if those are things that you like to do. I just didn't decide to do my schedule because I figured it wouldn't have as much meaning to you as it would of a student who has the same kinds of things to do that you do. Okay, so then we're going to start filling in some of the other parts of his day. So, of course, school. I'm going to start that. Our school starts at 7:55, so I'm going to customize this to be 55. Okay. I only want to get rid of the 4. Okay, and then our school gets out. It really gets out at 3:02, but I'm just going to say 3 o'clock, though none of these times are. Okay. And so we're going to do a custom because we're going to do every Thursday and Friday. And again, I'm going to say that it ends at the end of that week because I want to use the next week for the other kind of schedule I want to show you. And oh yeah, and I want to call it school. So there's school, and that's taking up that time. On school days, he gets up at 6 and so this would go to, whoops, I want it to be a 7 so I could just change the 2 numbers. So this is get up. Neither of these boys ate breakfast, so there wasn't a breakfast time, but get up, get ready, and go to school. And of course, it takes time to get to school depending on how far away you are from school, like the drive time. So you figure all of that into your schedule. And this is just going to customly repeat just on Thursday and Friday because now the good thing, if you were doing a whole calendar, you could do, months. You can, well, when it says ends never, it goes on forever. So you can set this up really in a lot of easy ways. And it's going to go on both days. So there we go. And look, a lot of this day is already taken care of with school. And then he goes right to practice. And his practice is 2 hours. So we need to change that time. And he's in basketball. And that happens every day, every weekday. Well, oh, I bet because I was doing it on a Thursday and not on the whole time. Let's see if I can fix this. I'm learning something too. Yeah, I just changed the start date. And the following events. Okay, so there's his basketball practice every day. And now on a regular day that he is on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when he's at home and not going to school, he said he gets up at 7 a.m. and then has a 10-minute shower. I'm just going to put these 2 things together, but you can always make them separate events if you want to. And I would say then that really would only go till 7:30. And that's going to be customized Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because he has school on the other days. And we're ending it at the end of this week. And then he said at 7:30. and for a couple of hours, he does any cleaning that he needs to do, either by something that his mom tells him to do, or that is a normal chore that he's supposed to do. Or he also then checks his homework, because these are his remote days. And these are the days that he needs to be working on homework at home. Okay, so there's that time. And then I'm trying to think he has then lunch after that, but we have quite a bit of time before lunch. I'm going to go ahead, just for our purposes of making this work out, and you could figure out how to do this. I'm just changing that time so that it all fills up, because our goal is that all of our time is allotted for something. And so then he told me on these days, after his free time, then it's taking him some time to get ready, like change his clothes and get ready for practice. And also the drive time to get there. And then, of course, it starts at 3. So, and we're going to customize this one again, just Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So there's that. And then I'm pretty sure after practice, till 5:30, this is just drive time to get home from practice. And it's just 30 minutes. And that's every day. And let's see, after 6:30, this was his supper for an hour. This starts at 6:30. Or some people call this dinner. And that's every weekday. Okay. All right. Oh, I wondered what this little spot right here was, but that's 10 minutes. So, and so the rest of the time, of course, is sleeping. So 11 o'clock, he's asleep. He's asleep all the way until it's 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, depending on what day it is. Okay. Now, during this homework free time, there's probably a lot of extra time in there. I would say the same thing about these 3 days with this cleaning and homework time. And so if you remember in the episode where I said, if something comes up and, you have to stop doing what you've planned to do and do something else, you can use these extra pockets of time as that time. So if during this cleaning homework time in the morning before lunch, your parents say, we got to go do this thing, and you're like, oh, I was going to do this homework time, then whenever you are done doing that, if this time has been taken up, maybe you can use some time in your homework free time from 7:30 to 10 to make up that time to do whatever it is. Or, like I said, if you talk to your parents ahead of time and tell them you're doing this plan, then you can say from 7:30 to noon on these days, I'm going to be doing this activity, whatever it is for this one, cleaning and homework. If you need me to do chores, could you tell me to do them, and I can do them in this slot of time? So just try to be proactive about that. And remember in the episode, I said, once you get these things on your calendar, then you have to follow them. So when it's Monday morning and at 7 a.m., you have that you're going to get up, you have to get up. And remember, your brain's going to tell you that you don't have to and don't worry about it and just do it tomorrow. And just know your brain's going to say that and tell your brain, I hear you, but I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Because if nothing else, sticking to this schedule will build this relationship with yourself that you won't even believe, because you will know that when you say something, you're going to do it. And no longer are all these projects half done or you haven't, followed through with anything, because now you know you're going to stick to what you say and you're going to do it, which is amazing. So here's the schedule. Obviously, like I said, there's stuff on Saturdays and Sundays. I just wanted you to kind of see what your weekday could look like. And I forgot that all these other ones were going to stay on here. So let me get rid of these, and I can say all events associated with that to make them go away a little faster. I thought I was being so clever and saying they had an end date, but some of them that were Monday through Friday, I didn't put an end date. So but this doesn't take too long, and you can see how easy it is to delete things from your calendar if you don't want them there anymore. Okay, now this student, now obviously this says it's Thanksgiving and stuff because this is when I'm recording it, and of course on Thanksgiving we wouldn't have school, but we're just going to use this as a Monday through Friday calendar. So my other student works, and so again we would put his free time on first. And what was interesting about these students is they're actually brothers. And so they probably have a very similar schedule. Maybe I'll go back just so you don't have to watch this forever. And school will stay the same. Let's see. And this get up time will be the same. Okay, I see what is a little bit different. He doesn't wake up on these days until 8 because we don't have school. And he said sometimes he wakes up at 9, but we'll just put that there. So his is a little bit different there. So then he checks his homework and does chores until lunchtime, but it doesn't start that early. So let's say his starts at 9 and goes until noon. Okay. And then his lunch only goes until 1. And then at 1 o'clock, he takes a nap because he has work. And he says he sleeps until 2:30. Oh, whoops, I didn't want that. I want to customize it. Okay, so that's his sleep time. And of course, he doesn't have to get ready for practice, so we're just going to get rid of that. Whoops. Okay, because at 2:30, oh, I see he works at 5. So at 2:30 he gets up, and he said from 2:30 to probably 4:30 he does homework, chores. Oops. He also plays with his siblings. I'm just going to write siblings. And that's going to be customized because that wouldn't happen on a school day. And then I'm sure 4:30 to 5 is getting to work, like driving and all that, or even getting ready if there's anything you have to do. Travel to work. I think he only worked some of the days of the week, but I'm just going to put every day, because I think he works quite a few days a week. And then he works from 5 to 9. So I'll just call this one work. And we're going to just put that through the week, but I think he works on Saturday too. Okay, and so he has the same get up in school here. And then I think he said that a lot of times he sleeps from 3 to 4:30 when he comes home from school to be ready for work. And this is just going to be on Thursday and Friday. Okay. And then usually he does homework then. He probably gets home about 9:30 and he stays up until midnight doing homework because he doesn't do it at different times. I'm just going to say Monday through Friday. And then here's this little bit of time, but I believe this would be when he's coming home from work and getting ready to start his homework. From getting started. Okay. And again, you can see how the time is filled up, and you can be a lot more descriptive in these areas. You may have like little things that you do. You could like say you're going to work on a specific project. And in remote learning, they may give you some things that aren't due for several weeks. So you could go out and several weeks and, okay, on December 11th, such and such is due. And so on that day, I'm going to put, or maybe on Thursday night, of course, I'm going to finalize something that's going to be turned in on Friday or whatever. So that's kind of how you calendar your time. This is a very generic, brief overview, but I wanted you to see what it would look like and how it kind of works if you get interrupted to do certain things. How do you recover that time? Because many people say when they start thinking about calendaring, well, what if something comes up? Well, things do, but you can still use the little extra pockets of time to make up for that. And remember, once it's on your calendar, your brain's going to tell you that you don't want to do it or you shouldn't do it, but you're going to do it anyway. And if you don't like after you've calendared this week and you're like, oh, there was too much time here, or there wasn't enough time here, then just change it. It's your calendar, it's your time. You can do whatever you want. So make it the way you want it to make it. That's what is so beautiful about this. And so there's really no excuse not to follow it because you created it. So I hope that helps. Please send me questions and comments about things because I would love to hear from you. Have a good day.